any additional unwarranted complexity. As we make our way up towards the Balch camp here, the fire is continuing to remain east of our control lines. That's exactly what we want and what we're working for. But as we make our way up Dinky Creek, up past where the confluence of or up Dinky Creek, where it gets up towards Turtle Creek here, this is where we've seen a giant uptick in the fire activity today. We've known for a long time that this area had the potential to startle folks. And specifically, what happened here, the fire has backed down off the slope of Dinky Creek, and in the area of Turtle Creek, it has found itself at the bottom of the south-facing slope. What does that mean? The fire is burning aggressively up the hills. It's the reason why you're seeing those giant columns of smoke. We have spot fires all the way up. If we can go into the tighter shot. We have spot fires on the north side of the transmission lines in the area of section 17 and this area of section 8. And for those that are watching at home from the Fence Meadow Lookout camera, you'll see that there's fire right underneath that camera. That fire was deliberately set by one of our crews in order to protect that infrastructure. There was still time on their side, and what they've found is that it's good fire in the sense that it's favorable. The fire is being drawn away from the lines that were pre-built for this very moment, and because of that opportunity, they're extending that fire north. They're making their way up along the dozer line, which is in the area of the 10S69 road. They're having favorable conditions and favorable consequences, but that's resulting in a large column of smoke. For the folks that live in Shaver Lake, which is off the map by about 12 miles, and for the folks in Toll House, we recognize that you've been terrorized by fire in the past, and this is a very uncomfortable situation for you to see that smoke, see the fire on the cameras, but I want you to rest assured, our primary line is in place. We've ordered additional resources that are arriving in the next few hours, and we've shifted the resources that we already have. Those resources include fire engines, bulldozers, crews, very large air tankers. That's just a beginning of what is on its way. Should we get challenged there, we have an alternate line to fall back to, and that alternate line is clear down here at Big Creek, the Big Creek Road that goes up. I believe it's the 09 road. That would serve as an alternate line that's a little bit behind us, and as a contingency that's even farther out. If we get all the way back to the trimmer workstation, and let me be clear, that is not what we expect to happen, but should it, we have a primary, an alternate, and a contingency line all in place. While this has been the bulk of our focus today, I don't want to take away from all the rest of the good work that is still ongoing and continuing. On the top end of the fire along McKinley Grove Road, they continue to burn the lines in on our terms. Why? For the lowest intensity possible to save those trees. And as we get a little farther down over here in Division Oscar, a lot less fire activity to report today. Still a high presence to make sure the fire stays where it needs to be. And as we get down in Division Quebec and Division Tango on the far east side of the fire, from Wiseman Springs all the way up to Washon, things are looking favorable. They're looking good. There's still a lot of work to be done in there, but it's not challenging us nearly the way that it is over on the northwest side of the fire. Thank you.
Okay, and I think we want to talk a little bit about fire behavior and what exactly happened today to cause that increase in fire activity. So we're going to bring Dan Patterson up. He is a fire behavior analyst with California Team 10 to talk a little bit about what's going on the fire today.
Okay, so working our way around the fire, down in Whiskey at the bottom of the fire. Fire behavior down here remains to be very minimal, with very little fire behavior. Coming around to branch 10, crews continue to try to secure this edge, with rollout being the main concern there. Rollout is material that could be on fire that would go downhill a chute, come down a chute, a hill, something like that, fall, and get established underneath the crews. So that is a major hazard for crews, but they're working through it and they're successful. So at the top, just like Gino said, very mellow ground fire up here to secure the line. As the heavier fuels, that meaning the larger material burns, the deadened down and the standing snags, those can put off some embers that float up in the air and cause spot fires. And so the crews have been picking up any spot fires that cross the line, and this is looking very promising. Coming down to branch 6, where we're seeing the current activity, what happened there is the fire crossed Dinky Creek sometime this morning, or even very, very early this morning, and found a drainage full of fuels and ran up that drainage. This whole fire, the entire time we've been on this fire, it's been very driven by fuels and topography. So it isn't completely unexpected that something like that would happen. But as we look forward to where the fire has kind of slowed a little bit near the power lines, that topography flattens out. So that is very promising. There is still some spots out ahead of it where the crews will have to pick those up or continue to burn and find another box. But I feel like the crews will be very successful in doing that. End of report.
Okay, thank you to Dan for that. Next, I would like to bring up the Fresno Kings CAL FIRE Unit Chief. This is Dustin Hale. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Just like to acknowledge the efforts that everybody's been putting on this fire for the last 2 weeks. We know that it's very dangerous, it's treacherous, and a huge scar to a lot of people in the foothills of eastern Fresno County. We have requested some additional resources to surge in as the fire is progressing in a positive direction on the salt on the western side of the county. We are surging our resources that are being emergency demobbed from that fire over to assist our partners in the Sierra National Forest and Team 10. And one of the things that we're going to focus on is making sure public safety is number one. If you don't need to be in the Shaver area or coming up the 4 lanes, we just ask that you stay out of it. Heed the warnings of the Sheriff's Department website and look for any updates on Everbridge. We want to make sure that the people of the area are safe and that the firefighters can get in and do what they need to do. But we are going to continue to bolster the primary line, but start looking at targets of opportunity, utilizing dozer lines, hand lines from previous fire history, whether it's the Max, the Blue, the Rough, or the Creek. And so some of those give us great opportunities to go back and open those up. And we will be working 24 hours a day until we can get this thing to bed. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I'd like to bring up Lieutenant Ryan Gilbert from the Fresno County Sheriff's Office to talk a little bit about our evacuations and what we have going on up on the hill. Thank you.
Good afternoon. We just want to talk about one change to our evacuation zones. We are going to move K29, which includes Dinky Creek Campground, into an evacuation order based on the recent fire activity. We are moving a hard road closure to Dinky Creek Road at Summit Meadow. We're also actively monitoring K61A and K166 for a potential change into an order within the next few days. We would encourage you to check on our website, fresnosheriff.org, for this map and any current updates, and follow our social media pages. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll bring up Jose Verduzco. He is a government relations liaison with PG&E, just to talk about any impacts to the utilities and power grid from this activity.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jose Verduzco with PG&E, a government relations liaison. So far, 0 customers have been impacted by this fire. Our transmission and distribution lines are currently de-energized as a precautionary measure, but our teams are working to restore power the minute it is safe to do so. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. That's all good news for everybody. We're going to go to our Sierra National Forest Supervisor, Dean Gould.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. So, great briefs. Really appreciate the information and the collaboration. As far as the incident goes, just to summarize real quickly, east side is looking very good. South looking very good. The west, north, much more challenging. However, the best news possible is that it is going right towards the primary line that has been the plan for quite some time now. It's certainly going there at a faster pace than it has in past days, but even that is not unexpected. This incident has varied day to day. You know that. The weather, the winds, the behavior. Sometimes it's been very moderate, sometimes it's been aggressive. And so now we have an aggressive piece. The topography is lining up with the weather, and so it is definitely making a surge, particularly in this direction. So the team and all the resources have been mentioned. Definitely tightening up this line, doing the firing operations, bringing the fire down, not waiting for the fire to get to it. So I think that's very, very positive trends. That's what I talked about at the shift brief this morning, was the trends, and we do have a lot of positive trends going on with this incident. In spite of looking out the window and seeing that large column today, just need to keep in perspective. Overall, the plan is still solid. It's still our primary line. That's looking very good. It's getting stronger literally by the hour. We've got additional resources coming in from our partners to solidify it all the more. So be glad to take any additional questions as we go through the day, and thank you again for your participation.
Thank you, Dean. And to close us out, before we do start with some questions, I'm going to ask for Joe Sean Kennedy. He is the incident commander of Team 10, to come up and give us a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. First thing that I wanted to mention is the integration that we've had in the one team, one fight for the past 2 weeks. CAL FIRE has been with us the entire time. Last week, we've got lightning. They had the salt fire. We were able to surge them some resources back. Talking with their agency rep that's been here, and Chief Hale. Stuff's starting to get released. We're able to be very flexible and receive those and help today. Very much appreciated. So thank you very much, Chief. Wanted to make sure that we did that. We knew eventually it would cross Dinky Creek. However, the fire has a vote. When it was going to, we didn't exactly know. There was heavy fuel loading in Dinky Creek. And as Dan mentioned, either early this morning or late last night, it did cross. So this was not expected. We had resources in place, and we're doing everything that we can, and we have a high probability of success. A couple things logistically that we've done today. With the sheriff's evacuation order, we are also making sure, just out of abundance of caution, that all of the non-essential firefighters that are up at Dinky Campground and Dinky Mill site are also evacuating to the Schaefer. So you might see a couple additional fire folks that are non-essential. We've got some support folks that have been helping us out, but just out of abundance of caution, we're going to remove them from the area and continue to evaluate. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is we do have relief coming in for California Incident Management Team 10. Traditionally, we work on a fire for 14 days. Today is day 13. Tomorrow is day 14. We have California Interagency Incident Management Team 5 coming in. We're going to in-brief them tonight, and we will integrate with them tomorrow, and then we will transfer command to them on Tuesday morning at 0600.
Okay, thank you for that. So lots of information there, very dynamic situation out on the fire. The first questions I have are for Gino here. How far from Shaver Lake? How far from Dinky Creek? And how far from Sycamore Springs? And if you could also just point out where Toll House, and if you can, the trimmer workstation, that would be helpful.
You bet. So I'm going to start kind of at the corner here. The trimmer workstation is right here at my fingertip. Each one of these boxes is 1 square mile. So if we count all the way back to the fire's edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles, the fire would have to flank and come this way and or make an abrupt change in the direction that it's burning in order to get to trimmer. If we make our way back, Sycamore Springs is right up in this area right here. Fire is just a couple miles from Sycamore Springs. Community of Toll House, clear over here, several miles away. Shaver Lake, not on the map. So again, we recognize that, you know, the smoke is not a comfortable feeling for you folks in those communities, but wanted to provide those distances. And Adrian, did I get all of them?
Yes, I think so. Thank you.
You bet. Sycamore Springs is right over here. It's right in this area. So we're just 3 miles from Sycamore Springs.
Okay, so the next question is the weather forecast for the coming days. Specifically, are there any strong winds predicted with the trough coming through? And for that, we're going to hand it to our fire behavior analyst, who's Dan Patterson.
Yeah, the forecast for the next 5 days is showing a fairly stable weather pattern, actually kind of ticking cooler and wetter, which is favorable for the firefighters out there. As far as winds go, we are expecting consistent winds up to a 10-mile-an-hour wind, gust to 20, possibly 25 in some places, which we actually do have weather stations placed across the fire that help us measure those winds, direction, temperatures, RH, to make sure our predictions are in alignment with what we're seeing on the ground.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just going to look around the room here at all the participants and just see if there's anything else you'd like to add. We are looking at dynamic fire activity out there up on that northwestern corner. I am hearing some changes to evacuations. We urge you to be tuned into your official sources. That would be Everbridge or the Fresno County Sheriff's Office Facebook or website. And keep asking us questions as you have them. We appreciate you being here today with us. Keep the questions coming. Thank you and have a great afternoon.